What if the most powerful healing meals on the planet weren't invented by nutritionists or in a modern lab, but were eaten thousands of years ago by the healthiest people that ever lived? Most people have no idea that while we were scrolling through recipe apps and ordering meal, the Bible was already prescribing complete meal. Specific combinations of food that science is now proving can fight diseases, rebuild your gut, slash inflammation, and transforming your health at the cellular level. These are not just symbolic food at a religious feast. They are complete, medically validated healing systems in a bowl. And today, I'm going to show you 10 of them that will completely change the way you cook, eat, and heal forever. Stay with us, because meal number 4 reveals a pairing so simple and so specific that it acts like a reset button for your entire gut health. And meal number 1, the last one, was actually commanded by God in Deuteronomy, is so perfectly and deliberately balanced that modern nutritional scientists calls it one of the most complete anti-aging meal and are still publishing papers trying to understand how people thousands of years ago knew its exact secret. If you want ancient wisdom backed by modern science delivered to you every single week, hit that subscribe right now and ring that bell because you do not want to miss what's coming. All right, let's eat. Here are 10 biblical meals that will heal you. Ranked from extraordinary to absolute life-changing. In our previous video, we have discussed meal number 10 till meal number 7. If you missed the first 3 meals, you can find them in the previous chapter. But for those ready to move forward, let's look at the physics of the next species. Meal 6. Let's start with the secret used by King David to awaken a dying Egyptian. Figs and dates. 1 Samuel chapter 30. David and his men return to Ziklag to find their city burned and their families taken captive. In the chaos and grief, they pursue the raiders. Along the way, they find an Egyptian servant, abandoned in a field, collapsed from hunger and thirst, 3 days without food or water. And what does David give him? Asterisk, they gave him water to drink and food to eat, part of a cake of pressed figs and 2 clusters of raisins. When he had eaten, his strength returned. 1 Samuel 30:11, 12 the dates and dried figs. Not medicine, not rest. Food, specifically dense natural sugar fruit that floods the body with immediate, usable energy and then keeps releasing that energy slowly over hours. And in Proverbs chapter 3, the chapter about wisdom and long life, the writer speaks of a life that is like a tree bearing fruit. In the ancient Near East, the date palm was that tree. It stood for endurance, provision, and sustained life. The Bedouin of Arabia, who could survive weeks in the desert on almost nothing, always carried dates and nuts as their primary survival ration. Date stuffed with walnuts is not a modern recipe. It is one of the oldest portable healing foods in human history. Here's what happens in your body when you eat a date. The natural sugars in a date enter your bloodstream at a measured, steady pace. Not like candy, which hits fast and crashes you, but like a slow-release capsule. The date has a natural structure that slows its own sugar down. Your energy climbs and then holds. No spike, no crash. Now the walnut. Walnuts contain the highest amount of brain oil found in any tree nut, a healthy fat your brain literally uses to build and repair itself. Your brain is 60% fat. When you're depleted, stressed, or recovering, your brain needs fuel that is specifically built for it. The walnut's brain oil is that fuel. Look at a walnut. Cut one in half. Now look at it. It looks almost exactly like a human brain, 2 halves with folds and ridges. Many cultures throughout history noticed this and concluded, instinctively, that walnuts were made for the brain. Modern science now confirms they were right. Together, the date recharges the battery. The walnut rebuilds the computer. This is why the exhausted Egyptian in the field recovered his strength, not just his energy, but his full capacity after eating pressed fruit. Take 6 to 8 medjool dates, the large, soft ones. Remove the pit from each. Press 1 whole walnut half into the center of every date. That's it. That is the complete protocol. For a more powerful version, add a small scraping of raw almond butter inside the date before pressing in the walnut. The combination of the date's fuel with the walnut's brain oil and the almond's sustained energy becomes a perfect, portable, complete energy source. Eat 3 of these in the mid-afternoon, around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, when energy naturally dips. You will not need coffee. You will not crash. You will simply continue. Athletes, nursing mothers, students before exams, anyone who needs sustained mental and physical performance. This is your ancient protocol. Numbers, chapter 13. Moses sends 12 spies into the land of Canaan to scout it out. When they return, they bring back a cluster of grapes so large that 2 men must carry it between them on a pole. A single cluster, carried by 2 people. This is the abundance of the promised land, announced to the wandering Israelites through the weight of grapes. And then there's John chapter 15, where Jesus says, Asterisk, I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. Asterisk, the vine is not just a farming metaphor. In the culture of first-century Judea, the vineyard was the center of economic and domestic life. Grapes were eaten fresh, dried into raisins, pressed into wine, and cooked in a thick grape syrup called dibs that was used as a daily condiment on bread. Fresh goat cheese, called javina in Hebrew, was one of the most common foods in ancient Israel. It appears in a list of foods brought to David during his flight from Absalom in 2 Samuel. It was a staple at every table, in every season. Grapes and fresh goat cheese would have been among the most ordinary meals anyone could eat in ancient Judea. And yet, their combination is one of the most intelligent, immune-supporting meals in the biblical text. The deep color in red and purple grapes, that rich, almost jewel-like red, is produced by a protective compound that the grapevine creates under stress. When the vine is under pressure from sun, drought, or disease, it manufactures this compound as a kind of shield for itself. When you eat that compound, you inherit the shield in your body. This acts like a renovation team for your blood vessels. It keeps the walls of your blood vessels smooth, flexible, and clean, reducing the buildup that leads to heart problems over time. It also sends a signal to your immune cells to stay alert without overreacting, which is exactly the balance your body needs. Now, the goat cheese. Goat's milk is naturally easier for the human gut to digest than cow's milk. Its fat molecules are smaller, and its protein structure is gentler. Fresh goat cheese is a living food. When unpasteurized, it contains active good bacteria that go directly to work in your gut. And it provides the kind of healthy fat that your body uses to absorb the protective compounds in the grapes. Think of it this way. The grapes paint the walls of your blood vessels and wake up your immune guards. The goat cheese feeds those guards and gives them the materials they need to stay on duty. Take 1 cup of fresh, mixed grapes, red, black, and green if possible. Have each grape. Pair with 2 to 3 ounces of fresh, creamy goat cheese, the soft, spreadable kind. Add a small handful of fresh walnuts, a drizzle of raw honey, and a few fresh thyme, leaves if available. Eat this as an afternoon plate, a light meal on its own or an opening to a larger meal. The key is the combination, grape and cheese together. Do not eat the grapes alone and hope for the same effect. The fat in the cheese unlocks and carries the protective compounds from the grape into your bloodstream. This is the meal a vineyard worker in the Galilee would have eaten under the shade of a fig tree at midday. 2,000 years later, it is still perfectly engineered. Exodus, chapter 12. The night before the greatest liberation in human history, God gives Moses a very specific set of instructions. Not for prayer, not for ceremony alone, but for a meal. Asterisk, that same night they are to eat the meat roasted over fire, along with bitter herbs and bread made without yeast. Asterisk, Exodus 12:8, every element is specified. The lamb must be roasted, not boiled, not raw. The herbs must be bitter. The bread must be made without yeast. This is not a suggestion. It is a precise protocol given before a night that would require every person eating it to be strong, alert, and ready to move. The bitter herbs of the Passover, maror, traditionally include horseradish, romaine lettuce, endive, and chicory. These are not mild herbs. They are sharp, pungent, and medicinal. In ancient Egypt, bitter plants were used specifically for digestive cleansing and liver support. God was not just feeding a people. He was preparing an army, and the meal he prescribed was designed to get them to peak physical readiness in a single evening. Roasted lamb is one of the most complete sources of what I call repair protein and energy minerals available in the natural world. It contains iron in its most available form, the kind your body absorbs and uses almost immediately, unlike the iron in plants that requires extra steps to unlock. Iron is what your blood uses to carry oxygen. More iron means more oxygen. More oxygen means more energy, more focus, and faster recovery. Lamb also contains zinc, a mineral your immune system uses like a factory needs electricity. Without enough zinc, your immune factory slows to a crawl. With adequate zinc, your body can repair and defend itself at full capacity. Now the bitter herbs. Your liver, the most hard-working organ in your body, performs over 500 different functions daily. One of its most important jobs is filtering the blood and clearing out waste. Bitter plants are like a direct command to the liver to speed up that filtration process. They trigger the release of digestive fluids that break down fat, clear the gut, and reset the digestive system from root to end. Think of the lamb as the fuel and the repair materials. Think of the bitter herbs as the internal cleaning crew that prepares the space to receive them properly. Roast lamb, ideally a lamb shoulder or leg, simply with minimal seasoning. Salt, olive oil, garlic pressed into the meat, and a few rosemary sprigs. Roast low and slow at moderate heat until the meat is tender and falls from the bone. Serve alongside a plate of bitter greens, fresh romaine lettuce, endive, or arugula, dressed with fresh lemon juice and a generous drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Add a small portion of horseradish on the side. Eat the bitter greens before the lamb, not after. Starting with bitterness prepares your digestive system to receive the rich protein of the lamb and extract maximum nourishment from it. This is the Passover sequence. Bitter first, then the feast. The order was not arbitrary. It was designed. You just unlocked the secrets of meals 6 to meal 4. But your journey into God's pharmacy is just beginning. Drop a comment and tell me which of the meal you are making first. I read every single one. If you're ready to see how these ancient patterns can transform your modern life every single week, subscribe and join our community of seekers. Don't let these secrets stay buried in the past. Next week, we go deeper. I'll see you at the table.